Hey guys, Sherman614 here. This is the outstanding Buck 110 folding knife. This has been in the pocket of almost every biker and probably every one of your dads. Standard clip point blade, nail nick opening, wood inlays, the brass hardware and everything, lock back design. A very standard and simple knife. This is your dad's knife. This is a Mantis Mrs Smith Karambit. This is nothing ordinary, and this is not your dad's knife. This knife is completely different than probably anything that you've used, held, or owned. And I'm going to get down to that in just a second. First, let me tell you a little bit about Mantis knives. Mantis cutlery was started by the man of the name of Jared West, who was only 27 when he started his company back in 2006. So, kind of a neat story. You guys should read up on it sometime. I did a little bit of research on it myself. And it's just a cool story. You should check it out. I'm just going to give you the box that you're going to get with just about every one of your Mantis knives. Got the Mantis logo here, this bright red box. Mantis knives. I'm not going to read this all to you, but on the side, it just tells you a little bit about the quality of the knife and like an introduction. On the other side, it is a disclaimer stating that, this knife might be illegal in some states or areas, so check out your local knife laws. And it has a little catchphrase down here that our knives are made to get you out of trouble, not into it. It's just pretty cool. I like a box with a nice read. So, oh, by the way, this knife I got off Newgram for $50, $49.97. MK-f utility knife, made in China. Oh well. Quality is good. So, what you get? I opened it up backwards, but the knife came wrapped in plastic, and it comes with a really nice, mess with the box there. Comes with this really nice little slip of paper, which is also a nice read. It's just a congratulatory letter showing that your knife made in the USA, which I don't believe this one was, but just a little letter, introduction to the knife, and thanking you for purchasing it. And it's really personal little letter, so it's really nice. So a really cool detail, and at the bottom it's signed by Jared West with his phone number. Or it's actually probably the phone number to Mantis Knives. But it's really cool. Oh, call me personally, so it probably is his number. I don't know. But it is really cool and really just personable, and to me that's important in a knife company. Because you get some companies that just really don't give a crap about their customers, but in the end, that's all they have. Okay, I've gone on too much about the box, introduction, whatever. Let's get down to the bare bones of this knife. First of all, you have this really nice and a heavy and thick Kydex sheath. It's really nicely constructed. You have a little slots right here on either side. Really couldn't get your belt through that or any kind of webbing, but you could get 550 cord through there. And you have little eyelets right there, which I imagine you could get 550 cord through as well. Really strong pocket clip, or belt clip, whatever you'd want to consider that is fastened to this side, these little screws. Which is one of those where you'd have to have your Torx bit there, and then unscrew, bless you.
Thank you.
And then unscrew this side with your, like a crescent wrench. But, so it's one of those, and I know I said this in my unboxing that you can reverse it, but I tried, and you actually can't. Because you see it has this little folded over piece of metal right here on the end, and it won't go over here because of this little raised up portion. So, it is not reversible, but you can take this off and mount it over here if you wish, which isn't really necessary. It says Mantis stamped into the sheath there. Mantis on the other side, just covered up the pocket clip. Mantis printed on there. Really nice. So anyway, retention sheath. These two little knobs here, they click into the first hole in the handle of the knife. So here it is. This is the Mantis Mrs Smith Karambit. First impression of this knife is, look at that handle. I know I went on and on about it in my review, or not my review, my unboxing, but look at that, it's gorgeous. It's reminiscent of carbon fiber, the way it looks interwoven. It is G10. It is just silver G10, trilled G10. And I'm not too familiar in the process of like trilled and trilling, but it's probably what they're talking about with the little interwoven, almost like carbon fiber process. So very nice. They are just scales. They're fastened to the actual slab of metal that is the handle with Torx bits. So you got 6 on each side. It's really nice. And also something else you're going to look at is how unique this is, because that blade, let's see, it's kind of hard to measure karambits, but you only have about a 1 1/8 inch cutting edge. So you get that little bitty blade with all that handle. But that makes it so that in many states this would be legal, because they consider, well, some states has laws against fixed blades. Some states don't really differentiate the two. It just states knife with a 3-inch blade or whatever. This blade is only about 1 1/16 inches, or 1 1/8 inches. Chisel ground blade. It already has some wear on it from the sheath. It is just, I believe, a titanium nitride coating. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like. But it wears off pretty easily. Has the Mantis logo etched into that side. Nothing on the other. It is made of Aus 8 steel, by the way. This entire thing, Aus 8. And it's weird. People will look at this sometimes and think that it's a folding knife. And I guess the little discs there are for just looks. It does look cool. I mean, you could grab onto there and use it for, you know, like a grip. But I imagine it just helps it secure it into the sheath. I could be wrong, but... by the way, also in the sheath, if you're carrying it like this, down onto the belt, it can click in this way, and it can click in this way. No problem. Which is really cool. That's why it's neat that the sheath is square. Unlike most Karambit fixed blades, where it's just molded to the shape of the Karambit itself. So, just thought I'd throw that in there. Jimping is all around this blade, which is really nice. You have jimping back here. Really, I wouldn't even really call that jimping. It's like just milled out pieces of metal there. But it offers great traction. The back, the spine of that blade. And it also offers like a little thumb ramp. Your hands are not slipping. The fat of your thumb digs in there so well. And it's not, it doesn't hurt. Your thumb melts into that jimping, which is really nice. Jimping down here where your pinky would rest. Or not your pinky, your ring finger. And then jimping back here where you can't really feel it once it's in the palm of your hand. And reverse grip. Then your middle finger will be resting on that jimping, and your thumb can kind of get a little grip on that jimping. So that's really nice. So they really thought about that a lot, which I like. I like that a lot. You have some really nice finger grooves here, which line up to my fingers perfectly, as you see. Just the ergonomics of this knife are amazing. It feels great. The edges are radiused a little bit. They're still kind of not sharp. Like when you grip this knife really hard, you can feel them. You can feel your palm digging into the handle, but it's not like it hurts or anything. So, but they are radiused, but still leave a little bit for traction. So a lot of you guys might be concerned that the G10 slabs do not come all the way out to the edges of the handle. But I'm kind of glad that they don't, because it offers a little bit, like I said, more of a grip. So that's really cool. You could also put your finger on the back of the blade here and use it for any kind of cutting task. It's got some holes reminiscent of Spyderco drilled out here. And then, of course, the holes all the way down the handle. The two smallest, and then one big one in the middle. Just kind of looks like just like a crop circle design, which I think is really cool. The edges are kind of bored out, really clean holes through there, really cleanly cut, cleanly drilled out. Just really, really nice craftsmanship. And that feels like it's just a Zytel piece right there in the middle with some kind of metal there. I don't really know. I don't even know what that's supposed to be. It doesn't really, the website doesn't really allude to anything, any kind of functionality to that. It doesn't really bring this up at all. So my guess is just that it helps it keep it in the sheath. So, but God, that's just a good looking knife. You got the silver trilled G10 handle scales with that tie-dye coating. Just, God, it looks good. I forgot what it said. I think it's a, let's see, the opening here. There is more than an inch. It's an inch and an eighth. 1 1/8 inch diameter hole there. So, as you can see, I mean, like my thumb fits through there. I like how they did that because it's easily accessible for, I think, anybody with any sized fingers. Both my brother-in-laws have held this, and they have really big fingers. They were like a size 12 ring, whereas I wear like a size 8 or 9, and they still had a ton of space with their fingers, so that was nice. Also, it offers a little bit of a striking tool if, you know, that's what you got going on that day, then you don't want to cut somebody, then you can strike. Wouldn't really recommend it, but you can. It is there. I imagine you could also grip that and bust glass with it if you had to. If you had to get out of your car and quickly, then I imagine you could use it for that. Again, I probably wouldn't recommend it, but hey, if it's life or death, you try anything. I'll be taking that blade and be chiseling away at the glass. Let's talk a little bit more about the blade. I was not impressed with the edge at all, because it is such a steep grind. I mean, I've already done a lot of edge work, and it's still really steep. I don't know if you can see, but it's just the grind is so steep that it left a pretty blunt. I mean, I can still run my finger across the blade and it's not cutting. And let's get a little piece of paper here. Yeah, it's not doing anything. So, there we go, a little bit. But since it's chisel ground, it's really hard, especially being a Karambit that size, it's really hard to sharpen because I don't have any kind of sharpening rods. So, you know, I've been doing the best I could with the edge work. I think it's actually better than when I got it. But it has a really nice tip. See, it's like a... there is a reason why they also call a Karambit a hawkbill shaped blade, because it's like a hawk or an eagle's bill. It's like a beak, it just tears into anything. So... Not the sharpest knife in the world, but if you had to, this will definitely be a man stopper. So, it's just, I don't carry it. I have carried it. I had carried it for a week straight before off my belt. Carried it just like this, off of my waistband, out in plain sight. Nobody ever stopped me and said anything about it. Nobody gave me any trouble about it. So, and even if they did, it's legal. Also, you could carry this tip up if you're wearing a belt. You could clip that up under the underside of your belt and carry it like this. For like, I guess, a tip down, as you consider it, carry. It will hold like that. I've tried it. But it's pretty top heavy. Because, like I said, most of the weight is in the handle. There's this much blade inside the sheath with this much handle. So it's top heavy. I wouldn't recommend it. That's probably why they made it just for tip up carry. Or with this karambit shape, it'd be tip right carry. That was a lame joke. Okay, the retention. I have messed with this knife a lot, and it is still, like, I'm shaking it as hard as I can, and it's not slipping out at all, not coming loose. I've never had it come loose. Now, I did catch it on a drawer knob. It caught right there, and it slipped out and landed on the floor. Landed like this, so no damage to the edge whatsoever. But yeah, this is a outstanding knife. It is not very sharp, but just due to the blade's shape, it doesn't really need to be that sharp. It will dig in and just tear the hell out of anything. So, and imagine if you had a rod, a sharpening rod, like a Spyderco Sharp Maker, then you could probably get a better edge on there. But it's just an amazing knife, great ergonomics. I'm just really in awe of how well this fits in my hand. And I have medium-sized hands. I don't have huge hands, but I don't have small hands either. It just fits so well in reverse grip. Just regular saber grip. It's just amazing. So if you're looking for a nice fixed blade karambit, I would definitely look into this. There's also a bunch of different I wouldn't say better options, but just also very nice options. So look into those, but also check this guy out. Just nice finish. Now the finish, like I said, will wear off on you, so just be aware of that. It's not a very high wear finish. It does wear quite easily. But like I said, great ergonomics. If you're looking for a knife also with great jimping, look at this knife. It's just incredible. Knife companies need to really look at this and try to get it right. You try to get it like Mantis, because Mantis does it right on their jimping. And just their design. Their designs are very different, but they're just amazing. Oh, one more thing about the Trilled G10 handles. They are not textured like regular standard G10 like are on most of your knives. As you can see the light reflecting off of it, it is a glossed finish. It is like a laminate. It's like laminated, like glossy finish. So be aware of that. Now, since it is laminated and it has those holes in the handle, you don't lose any traction. You still get traction just from like your if you have really dry fingers, then your fingers probably slip across there. But I mean, it's got the holes, so you don't have to worry. But so I'm just throwing that out there that they are not textured like standard G10. They are laminated. But God, it looks good. Definitely not a knife for everybody, but definitely a knife I would recommend and for your collection. Because it's just a knife that when somebody looks at it, they just go, wow, that's really different looking. I mean, I've got that from everybody I've showed it to so far, like, whoa, that's trippy looking. But they always keep wanting to see it. They always like it. It's one of those knives that you hate to love and love to hate. If you're not a knife guy, that is. I love this knife. I love everything about it. So, it's also special because it was a gift for Christmas. So, still added special factor there. Oh, also one more thing. I know, I keep leaving everything out. It is exactly 5 inches in length. Now, since it is, you know, that is from tip of the blade to back of the ring here. It's actually 5 1/16. So, anyway, compact, comfortable, different, very unique, very, very sturdy and well built. Just an excellent fixed blade. And definitely something that I would look into. But excellent, excellent knife. The Mantis Mrs Smith Karambit. Hope you guys enjoyed. Any and all questions, just leave them down there in the comment box. And yeah, just hope you guys enjoyed. Sherman614, peace.